Welcome to the Wealthologist Weekly. I am your host, Chris Hobart, but you can always call me the Wealthologist. Today, we are going to dive into a hot topic that affects a lot of us. So, whether you're buying or selling, or maybe just keeping an eye on the market, today we're going to be talking about current trends in the housing market and real estate values. So we're going to start off our conversation with current home pricing trends. And let's kick it off with some recent numbers that just came out. So last week, we received two reports on home prices. One's called the Case-Shiller Index, and the other is the FHFA Index. And they both showed an increase in home prices by 6.5% and 6.8% respectively over the past year. Now, I know what you're thinking. Man, that's pretty impressive. My house is probably worth more. But here's the kicker. While we expect prices to keep rising, the pace is likely to slow down a bit compared to what we've seen in the past couple of years. Do you remember how prices surged during the loose monetary policy of 2020 and 2021? Well, much of that increase, it looks like it's here to stay. Odd how when the government prints money, it impacts the value of real estate because there's more money to go around. But there is a difference in regional variations as well as market stability. So, certain areas, let's use Naples, Florida, they saw even bigger jumps due to the unique impact of COVID-19. Now, these areas might see some price corrections, but I got to tell you, don't worry. We're not necessarily in what we'd consider a housing bubble scenario like the one before 2008 in that financial crisis. In fact, since February 2020, the Case-Shiller Index is up a whopping 47.4%. And the FHFA Index, it rose even higher by about just over 50%, 50.2%. So I think the question that we've got to be asking ourselves is what's driving this? Now, aside from general inflation, costs in building new homes have skyrocketed by about 38% due to rising commodity prices as well as labor costs. Now, there are some unique challenges right now in home building. So let's kind of move on to the builders. Why aren't there enough new homes? Well, it's not just about market demand. See, the thing is, builders have faced a mountain of different challenges, from stringent regulations and zoning laws to different environmental constraints as well. Now, when we begin to stack these different hurdles up, it might have made it tough for them to keep up with the growing need for new homes. You see, post-2008, builders scaled back to help clear excess inventory at the time, but even those reserves began to dwindle, and new construction didn't pick up necessarily as much as you'd expect. I think a lot of folks may have been a bit gun-shy. They got hurt in 2008, 2009, and they said, I don't want to be overexposed again. Now, there's also what we call current construction delays as well. Because the reality is construction isn't just slow, it's stretched absolutely thin. You think about it, before the pandemic, getting a permit to start building a single family home, it took about 1.1 months on average. But what about now? Well, it's actually up to about 1.5 months. And even longer in the Northeast. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but if you begin to stack that on top of each other, it can really add up. And once construction starts, it's taking longer to finish homes as well. What used to take 7 months, well, now it's dragging out to about 8.6 months on average. Again, all of these things stacking on top of each other create kind of this backlog issue. Then you throw on top of that the impact of policies and immigration on housing as well. If we think about government policies, they've been a double-edged sword. So when you tighten construction limits while seeing a surge in immigration, you put those together, that's kind of a unique scenario because this has created kind of a significant mismatch in housing supply as well as demand. So if we were to maintain an open approach to immigration, loosening these building restrictions could probably help balance the scales a little bit. So to throw a summary around all of this, the housing market, it might face some slower price increases and even some potential slowdowns in sales. And we're definitely seeing that in different areas around the U.S. But if we hit a recession, we could definitely see a bigger pullback as well. But thankfully, thanks to years of underbuilding, overall, the resilience in the market is, quite frankly, stronger than ever. So whether you're looking to invest in real property or you're simply trying to understand where your home value might head, It's probably not going to go up as much as it has in the past, but keeping your eye on these trends is really crucial right now. All right. As always, I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of the Wealthologist Weekly. And I want to encourage you to join us next time as we break down more financial insights that help you manage and grow your wealth. Until then, keep optimizing your assets and making smart financial choices. Goodbye for now, and have a great rest of your week.